New Zealand, often regarded as a haven of natural beauty and quality of life, is facing a significant emigration challenge. While economic pressures such as high living costs and limited job opportunities have been well documented, another major factor driving this exodus is the allure of global opportunities. Many immigrants and citizens are leaving New Zealand in search of higher wages, better career prospects, and more dynamic economies abroad. This video explores the role of global opportunities in this trend, analyzing the push and pull factors influencing migration decisions. So, here's the list of why immigrants are leaving New Zealand in record numbers. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment your thought. Here we go. Number 1. Economic challenges driving immigration. In the year ending June 2024, 131,200 people left New Zealand, marking the highest annual immigration rate on record. Among these, 80,200 were New Zealand citizens, representing a 70% increase compared to pre-pandemic levels. Cost of living crisis. Rising inflation, 3.3% as of mid-2024, and high interest rates have strained household budgets. The Reserve Bank's aggressive monetary tightening has increased borrowing costs significantly. Housing affordability remains a critical issue, with many young people unable to enter the property market. Unemployment and job market pressures. Unemployment rose to 4.7% in mid-2024, alongside a decline in employment rates by 1.4% over the year. Public sector downsizing has left many skilled workers unemployed, while private sector job growth has been sluggish. Stagnant economic growth. Economic growth slowed to just 0.2% annually in early 2024, further limiting opportunities for upward mobility. Neighboring Australia offers higher wages and better job prospects, making it an attractive alternative for New Zealanders. Key destinations for emigrants. Australia remains a top destination for departing New Zealanders. Approximately one-third of emigrants chose Australia in 2024 due to its robust labor market and recruitment drives targeting nurses, teachers, and police officers. These efforts often include relocation packages. The UK also attracts many young professionals seeking career advancement and cultural experiences. Impact on population growth. New Zealand's population growth has nearly stagnated. In mid-2024, population growth was just 0.1%, with natural increase, births minus deaths, accounting for most of this growth. High immigration rates have offset gains from international immigration, leading to concerns about long-term demographic shifts. Broader implications. Economic consequences. Labor shortages. The loss of skilled workers is straining industries like healthcare and education. Housing market. Reduced demand from immigrants could stabilize housing prices but may also slow economic recovery. Tourism decline. Tourism arrivals remain below pre-pandemic levels, compounding economic challenges. Social impacts. Families are increasingly separated as younger generations move abroad. Communities face disruptions as professionals in essential sectors leave for better opportunities. Government response. The New Zealand government has introduced measures to address these challenges. Efforts are underway to attract foreign workers through immigration reforms. Policies aimed at boosting tourism and domestic demand are being explored as part of broader economic recovery plans. Number 2. Cost of living in New Zealand. New Zealand consistently ranks as one of the most expensive countries to live in globally. While it offers safety, progressive values, and a welcoming environment, these advantages are increasingly overshadowed by financial challenges. Key indicators highlight. Housing costs. Housing affordability remains a major concern. In 2024, the average house price was NZD 905,357, 7 times the average household income. Though prices have slightly declined from their peak in 2022, they remain far above historical averages. Monthly expenses. A single person living in a major city requires approximately NZD 4,284 per month to cover basic expenses. For a family of 4, this figure rises to NZD 6,372 per month. Regional variations. While cities like Auckland and Wellington are particularly expensive, even smaller towns like Queenstown have become unaffordable due to housing shortages and high demand. Key drivers of the cost of living crisis: housing affordability, skyrocketing prices. Decades of rising property values have made homeownership unattainable for many. The ratio of house prices to income remains one of the highest globally. Rental market pressures. Weekly rents vary by region but are uniformly high. For instance, average rents in Christchurch are NZD 505 per week, while Queenstown averages NZD 700 per week. Supply shortages. A lack of affordable housing stock has exacerbated the crisis, particularly in high-demand areas like Auckland and Queenstown. Inflation and rising costs. General inflation. Inflation in New Zealand has remained elevated, with prices for essential goods and services rising steadily over recent years. Utilities and groceries. Monthly utility bills range from NZD 150 to NZD 1,000, depending on household size and location. Grocery costs for a family can exceed NZD 350 per week. Transportation costs. Public transportation fares and fuel prices add further strain on household budgets. For example, monthly transportation costs can range from NZD 300 to NZD 900, depending on family size. Wage stagnation. Despite high living costs, wages in New Zealand are typically lower than those in comparable Western countries like Australia or the UK. This disparity has made it difficult for residents to maintain their standard of living or save for future needs. Impact on immigrants. Immigrants are particularly vulnerable to these economic pressures due to limited access to resources and support networks. International students. Students face significant financial burdens as tuition fees and living expenses often exceed their budgets. For instance, international students need at least NZD 4,298 per month to cover basic costs. Skilled workers. Many skilled immigrants find that their salaries do not align with the high cost of living, prompting them to seek better opportunities abroad. Temporary residents. Those on temporary visas often struggle with housing availability and affordability due to restrictions on accessing government-subsidized housing programs. Broader implications. Economic consequences. Labor shortages. The departure of skilled workers exacerbates existing labor shortages in critical sectors such as healthcare and education. Declining consumer spending. High living costs reduce disposable income, leading to weaker domestic demand. Housing market impact. Emigration could eventually stabilize housing prices, but may also lead to reduced investment in new housing developments. Social consequences. Families are increasingly separated as members move abroad for better opportunities. Communities face disruptions as essential workers leave for more affordable destinations. Government responses. The New Zealand government has introduced several measures aimed at addressing these challenges. Affordable housing initiatives. Efforts are underway to increase housing supply through public-private partnerships. Wage growth policies. Minimum wage increases have been implemented but remain insufficient relative to living costs. Immigration reforms. Policies aim to attract high-income earners while retaining skilled migrants already in the country. However, these measures have yet to produce significant results. Number 3. The global pull. Why immigrants are leaving. Higher wages and better career prospects. Australia. With wages significantly higher than New Zealand's across most industries, Australia has become a magnet for skilled workers. For example, nurses and teachers can earn up to 30% more in Australia while benefiting from additional perks like relocation packages. United Kingdom. The UK attracts young professionals with its robust job market, particularly in finance, technology, and healthcare. Many immigrants also value the opportunity to work in globally recognized organizations. United States. The U.S. offers unparalleled opportunities for innovation-driven careers in technology and entrepreneurship. Silicon Valley remains a dream destination for tech professionals. Dynamic economies. Many immigrants are drawn to countries with faster-growing economies that offer greater upward mobility. For instance, Australia's GDP growth rate outpaces New Zealand's by a significant margin, creating more job openings and higher demand for skilled labor. Emerging markets in Asia are also attracting talent with lucrative expatriate packages and opportunities to work on groundbreaking projects. Global recruitment drives. Countries like Australia and Canada actively recruit skilled workers from New Zealand through targeted campaigns. These include streamlined visa processes and incentives such as permanent residency pathways for high-demand professions like IT specialists and healthcare workers. Cultural and educational opportunities. For many young professionals, working abroad offers not just financial benefits, but also cultural enrichment and access to world-class education systems for their families. The UK's rich history and Europe's proximity make it particularly appealing for those seeking a blend of career growth and cultural experiences. Push factors, challenges at home. While global opportunities are enticing, several domestic challenges amplify the desire to leave. Limited career growth. New Zealand's smaller economy means fewer opportunities for career advancement compared to larger markets like Australia or the UK. Industries such as technology and finance often lack the scale or resources to compete globally, leaving ambitious professionals feeling constrained. High cost of living. Housing affordability remains a critical issue. Even skilled professionals struggle to buy homes in cities like Auckland or Wellington due to exorbitant property prices. Rising inflation has further eroded disposable incomes, making it difficult for families to maintain their standard of living. Economic stagnation. Sluggish GDP growth, 0.2% annually as of early 2024, has limited job creation and wage increases. This economic stagnation makes other countries with dynamic growth more appealing. Impact on New Zealand. Economic consequences. Labor shortages. The departure of skilled workers has left industries like healthcare, education, and IT struggling to fill critical roles. Brain drain. The loss of highly educated professionals reduces innovation capacity and long-term economic competitiveness. Reduce consumer spending. Emigration lowers domestic demand for goods and services, further slowing economic recovery. Social impacts. Families are increasingly separated as younger generations move abroad. Communities face disruptions as essential workers leave for better opportunities. A sense of national identity may be weakened as more citizens identify with their adopted countries. Government response. New Zealand's government has introduced reforms aimed at addressing emigration challenges, overhauling the Accredited Employer Work Visa (AWV) program by removing wage thresholds to attract foreign talent into critical industries, streamlining visa processes to reduce administrative burdens for employers hiring migrants, introducing settlement programs to improve migrant retention rates while addressing domestic labor shortages. However, these measures face criticism for being reactive rather than proactive in addressing the root causes of emigration. Number 4. Understanding net migration trends. Net migration refers to the difference between the number of people entering and leaving a country. In New Zealand, this figure has fluctuated significantly in recent years. Net migration loss among citizens. In the year ending June 2024, New Zealand experienced a net migration loss of 55,300 citizens. This marks the highest recorded loss of New Zealand nationals in history. Overall net migration. Despite the exodus of citizens, New Zealand recorded a net migration gain of 128,500 non-citizens during the same period. This was largely driven by arrivals from countries such as India, 51,000, the Philippines, 36,500, China, and Fiji. These trends highlight a dual narrative. While international migrants continue to arrive in large numbers, an increasing number of New Zealanders are choosing to leave. Key drivers behind high immigration rates. Economic challenges. High living costs. Rising housing prices and inflation have made it increasingly difficult for many New Zealanders to afford a comfortable lifestyle. Home ownership remains out of reach for many young people due to exorbitant property prices. Slow economic growth. The country's GDP growth has stagnated at just 0.2% annually as of early 2024. This lack of economic dynamism has limited job opportunities and wage growth, pushing many to seek better prospect abroad. Australia's pull factor. Neighboring Australia remains the top destination for immigrants. Higher wages. Many professionals can earn up to 30% more in Australia across various sectors. Affordable housing. Compared to New Zealand's skyrocketing property prices, Australia offers relatively affordable housing options. Proximity. Australia's geographical closeness makes it an attractive option for those wishing to stay connected with family and friends in New Zealand. Career opportunities abroad. Countries like Australia, the UK, and Canada offer more dynamic job markets. Skilled workers in healthcare, education, and technology are actively recruited by these nations through targeted campaigns. Many immigrants cite limited career advancement opportunities in New Zealand as a key reason for leaving. Quality of life considerations. While New Zealand is known for its lifestyle benefits, economic pressures have diminished its appeal. Young professionals often struggle with high living costs relative to income. Families face challenges in accessing affordable housing and education. The role of immigration in offsetting losses. Despite record immigration rates among citizens, New Zealand continues to attract international migrants. High immigration levels. In the year ending January 2024, New Zealand saw a record 133,800 net migrant arrivals, a 91% increase compared to previous years. Source countries. The majority of new arrivals come from India, 51,000, followed by the Philippines, 36,500, China, Fiji, and South Africa. Skill levels. A significant portion of these migrants are low-skilled workers filling labor shortages in sectors like agriculture and hospitality. However, this influx is not without challenges. The demand for housing among new migrants has driven up rental prices further. Policymakers are grappling with how to balance high immigration levels with sustainable economic growth. Implications of net migration trends. Economic impact. Labor shortages. The departure of skilled workers has left critical industries like healthcare and education struggling to fill roles. Brain drain. The loss of highly educated professionals reduces innovation capacity and long-term economic competitiveness. Housing market pressure. High demand from incoming migrants continues to drive up housing costs. Social impact. Communities face disruptions as younger generations leave for better opportunities abroad. Families are increasingly separated as members migrate overseas. While international migrants bring cultural diversity, integration challenges remain. Government response. The government has introduced several measures aimed at addressing these challenges. Immigration reforms. Policies have been adjusted to attract high-skilled workers while managing low-skilled labor inflows. Economic initiatives. Efforts are underway to stimulate economic growth through infrastructure investments and innovation funding. Housing policies. Plans to increase affordable housing stock aim to address rising costs. However, critics argue that these measures are insufficient given the scale of emigration among citizens. Number 5. Current challenges in government policy framework. New Zealand's immigration policies have evolved over the years to balance economic needs with social and environmental considerations. However, several recent changes and ongoing challenges have affected the attractiveness of New Zealand for immigrants. Accredited employer work visa system. Introduced to streamline the hiring process for migrant workers, the AWV has faced criticism for its complexity and wage thresholds. These thresholds have often made it difficult for employers to attract and retain skilled workers. Median wage requirements. Until recently, employers were required to pay migrant workers at or above the median wage, NZD $27.76 per hour as of early 2024. This requirement has been a barrier for many small businesses and industries with lower wage structures. Labor market testing. Employers must demonstrate that they have attempted to recruit locally before hiring migrants. This process can be time-consuming and bureaucratic, deterring some employers from hiring international talent. Upcoming policy changes. In response to these challenges, the New Zealand government has announced several reforms aimed at improving the immigration system. Removal of wage thresholds. AWV changes. From March 2025, wage thresholds for AWE roles will be removed. Employers will still need to offer market rates for positions, but this change aims to increase flexibility and reduce administrative burdens. Impact. This could make New Zealand more attractive to migrants by allowing employers to hire based on market conditions rather than fixed wage thresholds. Reduced experience requirements. Lower skilled migrants. The minimum work experience requirement for lower skilled migrants will be reduced from 3 to 2 years. This change aims to fill labor gaps in sectors like hospitality and agriculture. Impact. By reducing barriers to entry, New Zealand hopes to attract more migrants to address labor shortages. Streamline labor market testing. Declaration-based model. From March 2025, employers will need to declare that they have genuinely attempted to recruit locally. This shift from a more rigorous testing process aims to reduce bureaucracy. Impact. Faster processing times and reduced administrative burdens should make hiring migrants more efficient. Increased visa durations. AWE holders. The visa duration for new applicants in ANZSCO Level 4 and 5 roles will increase from 2 to 3 years. This aligns with the maximum continuous stay allowed under the AWE. Impact. Longer visa durations provide more stability for migrants, potentially increasing retention rates. Investor immigration policy changes. Active Investor Plus policy. The AIP policy is being revised to attract more high net worth individuals. Changes aim to simplify the application process and reduce investment risks for applicants. Impact. This could lead to increased investment in New Zealand, boosting economic growth. Impact of government policies on immigration. While these changes aim to improve the immigration system, they may not directly address the reasons why immigrants are leaving New Zealand. Economic challenges. High living costs, slow economic growth, and limited career opportunities remain significant push factors for immigration. Global opportunities. Many immigrants are drawn to countries offering higher wages and better career prospects, such as Australia and the UK. Broader implications. Economic consequences. Labor shortages. Despite efforts to attract migrants, labor shortages persist in critical sectors like healthcare and education. Brain drain. The loss of skilled workers reduces innovation capacity and long-term economic competitiveness. Housing market pressure. High demand from incoming migrants continues to drive up housing costs. Social impacts. Communities face disruptions as younger generations leave for better opportunities abroad. Families are increasingly separated as members migrate overseas. While international migrants bring cultural diversity, integration challenges remain. The conclusion. So guys, this was a list of why immigrants are leaving New Zealand in record numbers. Hope you will like it and appreciate it. The current wave of immigration from New Zealand underscores deep-seated economic issues that require urgent attention. While the country continues to attract international migrants, retaining its own citizens, especially young professionals, remains a critical challenge. Addressing high living costs, unemployment, and stagnant growth will be essential to reversing this trend and ensuring a sustainable future for all New Zealanders. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icons for latest upcoming travel videos. Bye-bye, see you.